Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Heckma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Welcome to the Players Lounge. It's a different look today. We're mixing things up as we go into the bye week. No Heckma Harrison, no former Cowboy safety. No, we have Nate Newton, Black College Football Hall of Famer from Florida A&M. Three-time Super Bowl champion. Everson Walls, Black College Hall of Famer, Grambling University. Should be in the Cowboys Ring of Honor, should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm a preacher to you. Now, I'm a preacher to you the same way I did Drew Pearson. We're speaking into existence. Come on, it worked for Drew, so I'm going to keep on preaching here for you.
I got to start crying then, baby.
We
off
to a good start, baby.
Yeah, I got to start crying.
We off to a good start. Not laughing at that.
He told me that, by the way. He said I should start crying. So this ain't just for me. That's straight from the horse's mouth.
Mr. Fourth and Long, national champion of North Carolina. He is Jessie, Holley in the house. 3 former Cowboy players. I'm merely Newy Scruggs. All right, guys. As former players, what do you do during a bye week after you got smoked like that at home? Jessie, start us.
You get away from football. I honestly, I know it does not what people want to hear, right? Like, you don't want to hear, what do you mean you get away from football? You got your tail whooped and all that kind of stuff. You get one of these things. You get one bye during the season. And I will say this on the players' behalf. I get it. You're upset. I get the fans are mad, are pissed off, are frustrated. You don't spend more time in this football building, even though it may feel like they don't spend no time here. You don't spend more time here than they do. You don't put in the rigorous work that they put in. You don't have the bumps and bruises. You don't have all these things mentally, physically, emotionally. Take the records away. I get it. I understand it. This bye is for you to get away and try to reset. Whatever that reset may look like. Some may go to Cabo, some may stay at the crib, some may go see mama and daddy, some may just go somewhere and get filthy nasty.
Some might just be in their bedroom, just in the bed.
And some may be
ice cream.
And absolutely. But I do think that we have to kind of just understand that this is a moment of time for you to just take a small break away from the game. You could self-evaluate, but then come back and try to fix the ailments that you had. But if you see people at the movies, at the mall, or whatever, don't be like, "What the hell?"
Late night club.
Even the late night club where they don't have particularly a lot of clothes on. Just let them throw their dollars in peace, and just say, "Hey, we see you guys next week."
I think it's just tough to go into a bye week with an ass whooping like that. That's the tough part to me.
Yeah.
Because you got to hear about it all week. You got to hear about it next week. That's the tough part. You want to go into a bye week, to me, with a feel good. You know what I mean? But they don't have that right now. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm never one of those guys to talk about how, the man wants to come down on you. But if I was the man, I would have been in that locker room cussing somebody out. This is my birthday, man. This is my birthday, bro. Y'all come in here and get whooped on my birthday like this?
In my house?
In my house.
Where my children play.
Right. That's what my kids play.
Yeah. Grandkids here. Invited 93,000 people to the party.
The way he treated that reporter. I'm sorry, the way he treated people, period.
Yeah.
When he goes through, I would come straight to that locker room, and I would hope the coach was in there, and I would talk to everybody at once and say, man, y'all are pissing me off.
Yes.
I mean, we lost, okay. We lost on my birthday, okay. We lost at home, okay. But we got blasted after the performance that we had in Pittsburgh, regardless of what you think about Pittsburgh, to be able to go in there and have that kind of attitude that they had in Pittsburgh, and then to come back here and play as if you're on the road. I'm not surprised that he didn't go in there and threaten everybody, including the head coach.
Mm-hmm. He asked about how would a player feel, and I guess that's how you feel about the players.
It's tough, man. You know me. I take up for the Cowboys all the time.
Yeah, we do.
I'm a homer. That's just the way. I'm proud of that. I wore that damn star. Okay, so when I watch the game, we have vested interest in it. I'm not just covering it. No disrespect to the media.
Right.
I'm not just covering it. That's our blood.
Right.
And so for that to happen, you can't just sit back and say, "Oh, that Stephen A. is so funny," all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
No, you are upset because you've been there before. You know that the guys are not playing well. You know they're not putting their all into it because I've been there before.
The way I feel is this here. Each player individually, some guys deserve to do what Jessie's saying. Some guys deserve to be blasted a little bit like Everson. But each player has to find his point. Some players should be over there working out. Some players should be taking trips. Dak, go take a trip. You've been beat to death. Go take a trip. My left tackle, you need to be out there on the field. Guy, you need to be out there on the field. Right. Mozzie, you need to be running into something. If it's a wall, it don't make no difference. A truck, you need to be running into something. So each player has to kind of find out.
A truck?
Yeah, because, brother, he got to move something. He ain't moving them folks. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Each player has, I remember – when I was playing, the 1 or 2 days that we had off, only I think once I went on a trip. The other times I stayed back because I knew me. I couldn't go out. I wasn't that guy that could go to a club because I was going to drink too much. I wasn't that guy that could, go to a family outing during that time because I was going to eat too much.
And you're going to fight somebody.
Yeah, so I stayed here a lot of times and worked out. And worked on my craft because the NFC East, when we played, was not playing. Mm-hmm. And I had to be correct. So each player, find your niche. Some of y'all travel. Some of y'all stay home. Some of y'all need to work out. Some of y'all need to study film.
They know who they are, Nate.
Yeah.
The ones that need to work out, they know who they are.
You know the funny part about what you say? I don't believe the ones that should be here doing that know that they should be here doing that. I think this new generation looks at things in a different lens. I think guys look at themselves sometimes and don't have that true self-evaluation. Like we talk about on our show a lot of times, like we need to bring back public shaming, at least in the locker room.
Yeah.
No.
For real.
No. But hear me out. I don't say bullying.
Oh, man.
But you couldn't. Let me ask you this question.
I'm listening.
Let me ask you this question.
I'm listening.
Cub, if you turn down tackles the way that Trayvon Diggs turned down those tackles, no. See, he laughing. He laughing, and I'm trying to be serious.
No, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Cubby, if you turn down those tackles the way that Trayvon Diggs turned down those tackles, could you go back in that locker room like everything was okay and nobody said nothing to you?
No, I could not. They would not allow me to.
That would have been some locker room public shaming. They'd have been in there. Look at this bleepity bleep. You sorry, soft. Blah, blah, blah. When you went in there and watched that film on Monday, you would have heard it.
Deal.
I'm gonna tell you something.
That was the deal.
I'm gonna tell you how
they don't do that. They're not like that's able to
Back
happen.
in the day, bro.
I'm gonna tell you how this would have went. Coach Landry.
Yep.
Coach Landry would have had a red marker, a light on you, saying, "Son, right here." He's not gonna tell you that you missed the tackle. He gonna. Right here, we're gonna come square our shoulders. We're gonna keep her outside. He gonna coach you through this whole in front of 70 folks. He gonna coach, and then we walk out of the locker room. You know what I'm gonna say? Like for real, Walls. Not once. Come on, Walls. You gonna hit this dude? Won't fall out of bed and hit somebody. I'll be on him so hard, but that ain't how we do it these days.
Right, and so I say that I don't believe what. Not that you say. I don't believe that there's enough players in this locker room who look at themselves and go, well, I need to get better. They look at them like, well, whatever.
Well, I tell you what I learned a lot.
So let me ask you.
Listen.
Let me interrupt you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Just back to Diggs.
Go ahead.
So after the game, he walks out of the locker room, doesn't speak to the media or anybody. How does that go over you guys when you see a player have a performance like that, they leave the room, which means you're still in the room. It's supposed to come at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
I'm right next to the guy to the locker, but I get all the heat. Yeah. I hate that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that goes along with the public shaming, because you should. Hey, bro, no. You go out there and you tell them, because I don't want to ask these. I don't want to answer these questions this week. They say I ain't do it. You did it. So you got to go out there. But again, that's not the way that they operate now. They operate now where everybody's cool now. They like, hey, dog, so, we know that you turned down these tackles, but hey, you trying to get on the game later on?
Right.
Hey, you trying to go get some of this reposado, some of the Don Julio, and then everything is okay. And no accountability.
I recall this happened in New York the year after we won the Super Bowl. Then my second year there, all the coaches were gone. Parcells was
New
gone,
York?
Belichick, talking about the Giants. And I remember our cornerback, our left cornerback, Mark Collins, hell of a player. For some reason, he was starting off that year bad. I don't know why he was starting that year off bad, but that's just the way it was. He knew he was playing badly. Gave up a big play to a wide receiver with Chicago in the second game. Mm-hmm. He came in there. He was so upset at looking at the video, he walked out. He walked out on the entire team. But everybody knows Mark Collins. Everybody knows Mark Collins. He's not that guy that's going to give up on anybody. So right. Mark Collins walks out. Everybody forgives Mark Collins because they know Mark Collins is going to come back in here on Wednesday ready to give all he had, because that's all he ever gives.
Right.
He just had a bad game. He was frustrated with his play, and he vowed to himself when he walked out of there, he's going to do better.
Right.
Now, if that's the way Diggs walked out of that locker room, then I can give him some love for that. If that's what's on his mind when he walked out, is he known to have the kind of courage to look at himself in the mirror as Mark Collins did? He came back that year, 1991. He didn't make All-Pro or anything, but he came back and he played the best defensive back that the Giants had, and that's including the year that I had back in 1991.
Now,
so the player,
right? But my thing is, okay, if and we're talking about him specifically, but that comes now after the bye. What you did in the Sunday's game ain't the first time you done that this season.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, this ain't the first time you done turned down a few tackles in the season. And
he's being targeted because of that.
And
everyone knows that.
Right. I give you a little grace and a little mercy, like the Lord above gives me from times, if it's Derrick Henry coming around the corner. Right? If it's Larry Allen screaming around the corner on a pull block, and now it's you and him in the alley, I might give you a little bit of, but come on, dog. Like, you can't just willingly turn down things like that and think that's just supposed to be okay. When right now, you're the best player that we have on defense, right? Like, you get paid to be the best player that we have on defense. And while we're reeling, we need someone to step up in this moment. Like, you just can't keep falling down when everything else is happening to us. He
needs to be part of the solution.
You got to be a part of the solution.
I agree.
It's too much of that happening. When you have, okay, it's my turn, then it's Jessie's turn, then it's Everson's, then it's yours. Now you got a team full of mistakes. And that's all these guys are saying is you got to be responsible for your job. And this game is one of those games where each individual guy got to start taking care of his house. I'm serious. I ain't looking back there to see if Walls on the outside of a cover two. Really don't care. I got to hold this dude up in front of me.
But Nate, haven't we said that after the New Orleans game? Yes. We said it after the Baltimore game. Yes.
Yeah.
And now we're saying it again. And that's the part where I'm talking about the culture of accountability.
Right. That's it.
Like, because there's two things that I say about that. And you're either coaching it or you're allowing it. Like, that's the only way. That's the only way that these things that we continuously talk about keep happening. Y'all either coaching it, or the leaders among this team and the coaches are allowing it. Because who's going to step in and say enough is enough? Who's going to step in and say, damn it, guys, like, enough is enough? And I get the money is a lot different, and that plays a huge contributing factor to it all. But at some point in time, and this all goes back to what you were saying, this is a look in the mirror moment. Who's willing to say, like, is Trayvon saying to himself, I can never let that happen again? Because this is the third or fourth time we've seen this happen to you in a game this year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't really know if they really leave here in this bye week and go up there and say to themselves,
if you're sitting there waiting on someone to tell you that you're not playing well, then you're blind. You need to know right away that you are not playing well as a man, just to yourself, that you're not playing well as a leader of this team. And if you can't see that, and you got everybody else talking about you around you, but no one's coming to you and telling you how they feel or how they think you look, then it's going to continue to happen. And that's what's going on right now. It's going to continue to happen to the best player on your defense. And I remember that same look. Mark Collins walked out of the room, and when he came back, he was ready to play. Because Mark Collins only had that happen to him once. That was an aberration for Mark Collins. I don't know if this is an aberration for Diggs himself.
When we come back, I want you to each think of one player who you say when they come back from the bye week, you need more from. All right? Everybody come up with their play.
All right.
Let you guys do it. I'm not going to come up with one. You guys all played. You guys know who you're looking at right now and say, I need more from you. We'll do that with Nate Newton, Everson Walls, Jessie, Holley. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys! Back to the Players Lounge.
The Cowboys Now app. Stay connected with the Dallas Cowboys on your connected TV. Catch up on all the Cowboys content like players interviews, weekly TV spots, podcasts, docuseries like Deep Blue, and much more. Download the Cowboys app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV.
Thank you, Jessie Holley. You're in the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. The Players Lounge looking a little different here. We've got Jessie Holley, Everson Walls, Nate Newton, all 3 former Cowboy players. I'm Newy Scruggs. We have some trade news in the National Football League. Former Dallas Cowboy wide receiver Amari Cooper.
I'm looking at that right now.
Coop is going from Cleveland to Buffalo. He goes from cold to cold.
That's a nice move.
For a 3rd-round pick. And
but Buffalo's hot.
Devontae Adams is leaving the Raiders, and he's going to the New York Jets. And it's a 3rd-round pick the Jets are giving up, which could become a 2nd-round pick. So Aaron Rodgers gets some help after he was throwing one of the receivers on the
Mike
bus.
Williams.
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
The man was open. I'm sorry, man. The man was open. Just give me the ball, man. Mr. Hail Mary. Let's go.
Man pulled the Nino Brown. This is bigger than me.
I'm going to tell you something.
I'm going down there. A whole lot of people with
The light-skinned brother right there.
When you walk,
Williams.
man, when you got the ability to walk right past everybody in the organization to the owner and say, man, I ain't feeling this. This is what I need done. Start with your coach, and I need this wide receiver. It magically happens.
Number 8 can do that, right?
It's the magic of the 8, huh?
Magic of the 8. Wow. So Cooper saved because he can now catch passes from Allen versus whatever Watson was throwing out there at Cleveland at you. And the same
Cooper
thing
can catch anybody's pass.
It helps if you got somebody a little bit better. And then Adams goes from whatever they were doing with the Raiders to that there. So we'll see. Now both men are now on their third teams. And
still in their prime.
Still in their prime, but on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
And are you really one player away? Buffalo might be for their offense, but for the Jets,
I understand it. If I'm Woody Johnson, like I've already kind of sold my soul to this Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yes.
So I gotta do whatever I gotta do to rectify this, to make this something, right? Like I gotta. When you signed Aaron Rodgers, you made it very clear that I'm here for a good time, not a long time, right? And so I got to do whatever I got to do to make this good time, good times, because it ain't going to be here long. Aaron Rodgers has maybe 1 year left in him. If he keeps getting hit the way he getting hit in these games, he might not have another year left in him. So for them to say, all right, we put all our eggs in this basket, we didn't fire the coach, we didn't move mountains, give him what the hell he needs.
They got to run with it.
If you're giving up only a third-round pick, you have automatically won because you have gotten 2 impact players that can change your situation drastically. This is smart on both. Third round? That's all? I mean, we begging for our third rounds this show. Come on now.
and
I do look at these Jets, and I just don't see they say they're a Super Bowl team. They said coming into this season, they were a Super Bowl team. The roster was amazing. Well, I haven't seen them run the ball well. I've seen Aaron Rodgers be iffy at best. Maybe the wide receiver would change that. Let's just say we had a good wide receiver. A few of those incompletions, they might be receptions, and they could change the fabric of that game. Still a close game when it was all said and done. So the AFC East?
Yes.
They ain't going nowhere. Nobody's going anywhere. That's a good thing for the Jets. No one's going anywhere right now, like the Cowboys. And nobody's going anywhere right now. So believe it or not,
Devontae Adams impacts
we're still
your
in good
team.
shape.
But Devontae Adams impacts your team.
I think, because they just played last night, right? Buffalo and the New York Jets. I think Buffalo looked at the Jets and said, they're the only one challenging us in this division. Yeah. And the Jets looked at Buffalo and said, if we don't get something in here now, they're going to start pulling away from us. Like they're going to, and then we're going to be, and if we don't get the division and how this thing plays out, we may not get into this.
They can still see them.
You know what I mean?
They can still see them.
So they were like, let's both make some moves.
Yeah.
Because Buffalo was like, if we get this piece right here, we can go somewhere. And the Jets, I mean,
Jets are like, we can't let them get out of sight.
Yeah.
We got to keep pace.
All right, guys. Who is the one player, as the Cowboys enter the bye week, coming out of the bye week and going out to San Francisco for NBC Sunday Night Football, who's the one player you need to see more from? Nate Newton.
I was praying you go to Brother Jessie because I always tell people to X him. And we've heard his name repeatedly over and over and over. And it's one guy, if you want to change the face of what is happening, and he's in the heart of all of this running, y'all know who I'm finna call. It's Mozzie. If this kid don't get better and hurry up and get better, this team is doomed. Every team we've lost to have rushed for more than 170 yards, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Our linebackers cannot function properly. Just think how big Overshown would be if he didn't have to run the hump. Just think Kendricks would still be healthy if he wasn't getting beat down. I mean, if Mozzie comes and has after this bye, just start by leaps and bounds eating up bodies. It would change for the Cowboys. I believe with all my heart, but he has to be that player.
And I'll say, in his defense, when he does play well, we play well. I mean, he's had good games. He had a good game against Pittsburgh, decent game against Buffalo in the second half. And Baltimore, thank you. And so when I saw those stats, I was shocked. When I saw him play against Philadelphia, I'm like, who in the hell is that guy with all this activity? That's what I wanted to see more of. And once again, I don't care what team we played against, the Giants as well. I don't care what teams that we play against. He has to show up, whether they're a good team or a bad team. He has to show up. If I was going to talk about someone that could make a difference, I got to go with two people, and that's Dak and CD. I'm sorry. These guys have got to get on the same page some kind of way, maybe throw the offensive coordinator in there with the play caller, because last year they were the reason that we stayed in games, and this year they pretty much are not. And I don't like Dak having to go to all these different guys, and then all of a sudden, predictably, we got to go to CD. Everybody knows when we're going to CD. The defense always knows when we're going to CD because we're predictable in when we decide to do it and decide to force it. I look at those two guys, not worried about what else anyone else is doing. From what we saw last year, you can't tell me that this combination can't win some games for us just from what I saw last year.
Did the lack of CD not being in training camp, in your opinion, mean that much?
I would not have said so before this year, but I don't know what else to point it to. I would have not have said that just because of the experience of both of those guys.
Right.
I see experience, which I thought would bring on professionalism, and those two are not working together right now. I mean, both of them have an experience and the professionalism that goes with that. You see meltdowns as opposed to guys coming together as a combo.
Just to put a bow on that, just in my heart of hearts, and as being a receiver and being around receiver-quarterback combinations, Dak and CD are coworkers, and that's a lot different than Dak and CD actually being friends.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes
we don't need friends.
But here's the thing. But sometimes when you're coworkers, and you and I, we laugh and joke about this, talk about teammates, right?
Yeah, and hugging, yeah.
Right? Like there are only a certain amount of things that I'll do for certain teammates. The other teammates, I'm gonna do my job, but I ain't gonna go extra just for the teammate.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my dog. I got you, my dog. I got you. I don't think they have that. And
why wouldn't they have that after last year?
I don't think they even had it last year.
Well, that bodes
Green
well.
Bay proved that.
Like I think, like, because remember how that year it was after I would say there was pre-pout CD and post-pout CD, right? He had the pre-pouting and then he had the Arizona run after all that kind of stuff. And what I always looked at that was Dak would say one thing in his deal and CD would say another thing in his deal. And I said, y'all in the same damn locker room. At no point in time did y'all ever decide that y'all gonna have a conversation with one another. And it was, well, just throw me the ball. And it was like, hey, we're doing our very best. And it was just like, wait, y'all, time out. Like, does somebody one of you just say, hey, come here, bro. Let's sit down like men. Let's hash out whatever it is needs to be hashed out so that I need you and you need me.
I considering how this past offseason worked out for both of them, that just surprises me that this gap is getting wider.
They didn't work out this offseason.
No, I just mean in regards to the money that they made.
Right.
I mean, so you have to realize, I made this money because of you. You made this money because of me. That's facts. You can't get by there, whether you boys or not.
Now, but do you say to yourself, well, yeah, you made this money because of me?
Yeah. Well, no, but it's got to go both ways.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You have the attitudes of, nah, you made this money because of me. Who else you gonna throw the ball to? And he looking over there like, you made the money because of me. Who the hell else gonna throw you the ball? And now you have this, you have this stare off of who contributed more to the other person's success?
So then, as teammates, as someone who's a Dallas Cowboy, there's going to be a moment to where you say, man, we need each other. There's got to be a moment, because now look where we are.
Yeah.
So, like you saying, Devontae called with Jessie said, "Look at dog, I need you."
Yeah.
That ain't them.
Yeah. I'm with Jessie, and those days of not getting along, it carries too far. Now you have to get along, and because this thing right here.
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking that.
You have. Me and you didn't always see eye to eye because of your political views were so open. He scared the rest of the brothers in the locker room. His political views was not being hidden.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm just being honest.
No,
but
it's true.
did me and you ever not got along?
No.
These guys got to put whatever differences they have aside and get along.
But did y'all sit down and have a man-to-man conversation?
We didn't have to.
We did.
We understood where he stood.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because I guess it's just the different generations.
Yeah.
I can talk about Nate behind his back, and I come and say the same thing to his face. And this boy going to come back here and he going to clown me.
Yeah.
And even if I'm pissed off, it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
So just to make sure I'm hearing this right, you all think there is
It got to be a riff.
issue between Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Hold it. We're going to take a break.
And I'll answer the question that you originally posed when we come back on that subject.
Right.
Because
You got your guy.
we're diving into this here. Going next level here with Jessie, Holley, Everson Walls. He's Nate Newton. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Ex-Jessie.
Hey, Danny McCray here for Smoothie King. You know every great workout deserves a great reward. So treat yourself right with new coconut smoothie bowls. Made with real fruit, crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, creamy coconut, and topped with the chocolate hazelnut or honey drizzle. With 2 new flavors, it's perfect for you and the workout buddy. So you both can stay on track even after you leave the track. Scoop up new coconut smoothie bowls only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2024 NFL season, Boss teamed up with the Cowboys and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection. The Boss Cowboys collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Arriving just in time for the start of the season, the distinctive attire from the latest Boss Cowboys expansion offers sports aficionados and true bosses the chance to show their team spirit and style. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, HugoBoss.com, and Boss retail stores. # be your own boss.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1, any broadcast without the express edition of cook-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12, no crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31, anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Monster Jam. The most action-packed motorsport experience in the world returns to Arlington. Head to AT&T Stadium on Saturday, October 26th for Monster Jam and watch 4 Marvel monster trucks. I should have my read better than this, right, New? I know.
You did good.
I know.
You're doing well.
Make their Arlington debut. Tickets are on sale now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
Thank you, Jessie, Holley, former Dallas Cowboy wide receiver. Everson Walls is here, former Dallas Cowboys cornerback. He is Nate Newton, former Dallas Cowboys offensive guard. I'm Newy Scruggs. I ain't do jack for the Dallas Cowboys.
I learned how to read that read like you, man. I went to my Newy Scruggs. You taught me that a long time ago.
No. That's how Isaiah Stanback.
You told me
stand
that,
back.
You told me that a long time ago. You was like, listen, man, get into that different voice when you read those reads, man. Get into that voice that they're gonna cut the check for when you get to that read. Don't be Jessie from Jersey when you read that read. Be Jessie from the University of North Carolina.
There you go.
National champion.
National
2005.
champion. Yeah, thank you.
Beat
brother.
Illinois.
Yeah.
So we were discussing, and it was good discussion. But I stopped it and teased it to keep the people here.
It's called a sizzle.
So you've got a $60 million quarterback and a $30 million wide receiver. We've now seen 2 straight games in the red zone. They don't know what's going on here. And you're diving deeper here. Jessie, I'm going to go back to you where you said, hey, these 2 guys are co-workers. They're not friends, buddies, homies. What's going on here with the disconnect?
You know, New, I wish I had a concrete answer.
Okay.
Right? Like, I wish I had
Theories.
something to go, like, you know,
They got concepts.
I got concepts. You know what I'm saying?
Concepts of a plan.
Yeah. But I just, when you look at, like, I'll give you an example. We talked earlier today about the Aaron Rodgers getting his
Robert Saleh.
Well, no, he got him fired.
Mike Williams.
But he got Devontae Adams back.
Oh, Devontae Adams.
Right?
Okay, yeah, I got Adams back.
Go back and watch the clip. Aaron's sitting there and he's on one of the shows that he's doing, and he's sitting there and he's talking and he looks over, and you see him look over to his left and he goes, and he does that, and in walks into the shot Devontae Adams. And I ain't seen Aaron Rodgers smile this much since he came out of the cave on that Asawasa. He was so happy.
On that good stuff.
On that good stuff. He was so happy. Google, so the young kids call it spin the block. Google Nelly and Ashanti, right? Nelly, he lost Ashanti many, many years ago. Saw her at a Versus, hugged. Now they married, about to have a baby. And you don't see Nelly, he got the biggest smile on his face. You just don't see that type of love between these 2. We've seen these 2 spend more time bickering, talking about bickering, having to throw us off about their bickering, trying to say that their bickering is not actually bickering, and all the reports over the last 2 years about you 2 being on the same page. That doesn't give the indication to me that there is a strong, loving bond between these 2 where they're saying, you're my WR1, I'm your QB1, and we are in this together. It feels like there's something that is a disconnect between these 2.
Everson,
I just remember when Cooper Rush came in the quarterback. This is when Dak got hurt. I can't remember which time.
Halloween, Sunday Night Football at Minnesota. That was one of the first time.
Was this Minnesota when Cooper threw a ball out there? CD was running down the sidelines. Ball was in between he and the safety. The safety got it, and CD kept on running. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
That was the last time that they had an issue. After that, they went on a run. That was 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. May have been good behind the scenes, but nothing came to the surface. When I saw the red zone play, I thought it was a bad throw by Dak, period. But was it salvageable if CD would have gone in and tried to make? Because it was really the same thing to where you could have
just crashed out and not the interception that happened.
There you go. So do you think that could have happened in that game in the red?
I've seen it happen 10,000 times with Michael Irvin and Troy. And that's the first thing I said on both interceptions. If CD don't get this ball, no one gets this ball.
Don't let no one get it.
And so I'm saying to myself, I saw CD a couple of games ago when he blew up, run a in route. All the dude did was stuck his hands in there. And CD just let that dude. I said,
Green Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that was huge.
Don't
because
they
were on that
body
comeback trail at that
become
time.
that bad.
Yeah.
Don't let your body language.
And they already had the bad body language early in that game. I talked about that play. I don't know if anyone was listening. That was a moment to where if he makes that play, much as Green Bay game wasn't worth the crap, that was a moment to where it could have been a momentum changer.
Yes, at least competitive.
I've seen CD, and it's nothing I had, like my boy said, it's nothing I ain't heard. It's what I've seen. I've seen him go up and get those passes. That particular time, you had the cornerback on your back, you had the safety coming over, and the ball was thrown up to where he had a chance to go up and get it. He decided to catch it for some reason. Too much traffic. You know you got 2 DBs around you. You can't wait for the ball to come down to you. The safety got his hand in there, knocked it away. If you're going up like that, then the safety's hand doesn't get in there and stop you from going up for that ball. There are certain things, as great as he is, and I love me some CD, sometimes you got to save your quarterback. That's what good wide receivers do. They save their quarterback.
And that goes back to the comments that Jessie made, co-workers versus, is this my boy?
You got, regardless of what you are to each other, you got a common goal. And that should take precedence over anything. And to me, that's the bottom line. I don't give a damn. We talked about this already. Right. That's the bottom line. Man, we got to make these plays so we can keep making more money. Keep getting more endorsements. Keep getting more love. Keep helping my team. That's me.
So who plays Jerry West? I bring that up because I worked in L.A. when Shaq and Kobe both got to the Lakers, and then they eventually had their own issues, and it was Jerry West that had to get up in there and reach some détente. So who plays Jerry West here between the $60 million quarterback and the $30 million receiver, and neither one of them is going anywhere anytime soon? You can't even trade somebody because it would cripple the salary cap.
Easy answer is McCarthy. That's the easy answer. But that may not be the right answer, but it's the easy answer. But if they're willing to listen.
You know the funny part about, like, when you ask the question, who is it, right? At this point in time, nobody.
What about the OC? What about the OC? No?
Everybody's fighting for, like, you have put this team, and this is my Jerry Jones rant, you have put this team in a total survival mode. Jokers is really worried about now my own stuff. I'm trying to. I got my little bucket in my boat, and I'm trying to get the water out of my boat. I ain't got time to help you get the water out your boat.
De La Soul, it's just me myself.
It's just me myself. Like you've put this team, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, head coach. It's a bunch of dudes around here that's like, bro, I can't.
A third of your football team.
And think about how many 1-year contracts are up. Jokers is looking around this place and saying like, y'all talking about team? Like, in my Allen Iverson voice, you talking about practice? Y'all talking about team? Buddy, I'm trying to save me. I'm trying to hold on to whatever it is that I can hold on for me. And you can say it don't go in the locker rooms. It goes on in the locker rooms. Jokers is trying to hold on and trying to do the best for them until this thing gets figured out. So people ain't trying to really pour into other people and have disputes undone because they're like
so since you say that there's people who are concerned about their 1 year and what's going to happen with the rest of their lives. Well, would that not be then upon the general manager, since he's going to be here, to get said quarterback and said wide receiver to sit down?
You don't think Jerry could do that?
Let me say this, man. Y'all, let me say this right here. Let me say it. Normally, I'm always sitting in the middle. Old Nate ain't going to say nothing too bad. But I'm going to say this right here because I know it's the truth. I'm making $60 million a year. 180 of that guaranteed. What you going to tell me? Even if you don't, what you going to tell me? Give me my money, man. End the story.
But...
And the other dude saying, I make $30 million a year.
When you write
$90, $100 million of that guarantee.
When you write that 60 to that player, when you write that 60 to that player, you wrote that 60 to him because you think y'all have a rapport.
Not when it comes to another man's like or dislike.
And you said Mike McCarthy, they gonna look at Mike McCarthy and say, homeboy, you.
But I watched.
You might not be here.
I know you're a real estate agent.
I watched it work.
She working.
Talk to me.
I watched it work. Jerry West, who by the way had that much juice because he was Jerry, he was able to take a situation that was volatile and get them to get on the same page. So it's not undoable.
But see, you keep trying to. This is the deal. Dak is more old school than CD. Dak will probably be willing to look him in his eye
That's
and
what
rap.
that's what I think.
Yeah. But CD knew. He knew.
He's that Gen Z.
Yeah.
You know, that Gen Z.
He is new. And CD, and he ain't hearing what you're trying to say. We can sit here and try to fix this, but until CD want it fixed, it ain't going to get fixed.
And gentlemen,
I was trying to find out who his
Tyler
dude
Guyton.
was.
Tyler Guyton. You have to figure out how to play better football.
Yeah.
That would be my one guy.
that's a good
Well, now, where you be crushing the right tackle? I thought you were going to say the right tackle.
Still, he's cooked.
Okay.
We're done. Like, he's cooked. We're so done with him. At least Tyler Guyton, we got some more years. We got a future. At least.
Both I'm kind of young though, right?
Now, he done changed our head coach name. What is our head coach? Freaky Mike?
Michael from Pittsburgh.
He done changed.
Michael from Pittsburgh.
What a fun show.
Yeah.
We're going to end it right there, guys. Yeah. Jesse Holley.
Oh, man.
Everson Walls. Nate Newton. I'm Newy Scruggs. The Players Lounge. What a fun one.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Aristocrat Gaming. And we'll do it tomorrow. For the last time for the bye week. Newy Scruggs, take care, everybody.
Ask all for questions tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!